Half-time rant. Inter Barcelona.
He's showing the record on me predicting PSG. He's not showing the record on me predicting Inter smashing Barca to pieces.
Yeah. I think we both, in our assessment of the game, I think we both agreed that Barca's defense can be suspect, you know. But I think you definitely doubled down in that you definitely saw Inter would definitely get the better of stylistically with the better of Barcelona. Where I probably was a bit more on the side of, I think where Barcelona's attack has been able to outscore majority of their opponents, I felt like they might be able to produce enough magic to get over the line against Inter's stability. But on the night, man, we saw loads of different sides. So both teams, I think I saw loads of different sides to Inter in particular, because the way I predicted that match going, if Inter were to win, I thought it would be okay. Inter get maybe 1 or 2 goals and are able to lock up shop. But what I saw in that Inter team was a team who weren't actually at their best defensively, whether that's of their own doing or whether that's just because Barcelona's attack was just extremely good on the night. But it even though they were in situations they don't usually find themselves in, they weren't two-faced. It didn't stop them. They were able to stay in pressure in the moments that they needed to, get the key goals in the moments they needed to, and even get out of the adversity when they looked like they were on the brink of exiting the competition with a minute and a half left. What happens? 37-year-old Acerbi gets the winning goal. Not the winning goal, sorry, the equalising goal. So, credit to Inter, man. Inzaghi, what he's done with that team is amazing. I mean, in 2025, you have Mkhitaryan and Çalhanoğlu as your midfield base. How you get away with that?
If Inter were just able to, if Inter's midfield could have a bit more composure, like you were saying about Çalhanoğlu and what's his name, Mkhitaryan, but these guys are old as well. And then Barella had the worst 2 performances of his life I've ever seen. I've never seen Barella play that poorly. In the first leg and the second leg, if Inter just had just a little bit more composure, they could have split Barca's defense easily. Barca were playing an insane high line, and every time they were able to get past them, they were creating a chance. But the midfield kept giving the ball away. They kept giving the ball. They kept rushing it. Although I think like Thuram didn't help too much or like that, because they didn't have enough hold up play to be able to to be able to hold the ball. They didn't have a target in there as well, so that didn't help them too much. But I think the midfield lacked composure. They lacked composure to be able to exploit Barca properly. They should have exposed them a lot more than they did. I don't think the game should have been that tight as it was, that they were about to literally go out. I don't think it should have been like that. I think they should have been able to expose it like Inter properly. But this guy, what's his name? Dumfries, best player of the time.
Yeah, Dumfries was exceptional.
Best player of the time. Yeah. I checked, two goals, 3 assists, both times.
Both times, yeah. Game of his life.
Crazy. And what was it? 6 goals for Inter, isn't it?
Yeah, altogether.
Contributed to 5 of them.
He was exceptional.
And still locked down his side defensively as well.
Nah, he was quality.
Insane player.
He stood up to be counted.
Quality player, man.
I want to talk about Inter's strike pairing because, I have a big issue with these 2 guys. To me, I don't really rate either of them highly, but they keep producing the goods, and it's like, on the one hand, sometimes they could look very, very good, and on the other hand, sometimes they could just be extremely frustrating strikers to watch. How much do you credit Inzaghi for what he's getting out of the 2 strikers, or do you think they are actually just 2 quality strikers?
No, I think it's the system. I just think the system is to me, they're not world class. I don't think Lautaro plays up top for any other team.
God forbid Lautaro getting a Ballon d'Or. God forbid.
No.
God forbid Lautaro getting a Ballon d'Or.
Because see, Lautaro to me is a good player, but he's not physical enough to be a target up top. He's a player that requires space as well. He's a good player.
He has to feed off another focal point.
Exactly, he has to feed off another focal point. He can't be the main focal point, so he's basically like a second striker, and that system allows him to play as a second striker. So that for me is like cool. Like you get they can feed off each other. They both can feed each other, because even Thuram himself is not a focal point attacker as well. So they both have to feed off each other. And I think Thuram to me was terrible in the second leg up until the goal he created for the winner. He was terrible. He didn't keep the ball well. He couldn't hold it up. His runs in behind was poor. It was one of the reasons why they couldn't break down. They couldn't break down, but didn't exploit Barca even more than they did. Because like the way that line was, they should have exploited. Thuram should have. Like that's so much space for you. A player that's that fast, it's literally so much space for you to exploit. Like that's the reason why Dumfries was so good, because there was so much space. Like that should have been Thuram doing that instead. But his runs were not timed properly. He wasn't holding up the ball. He wasn't physical enough. But yeah, to me, they're not world class. They're good players in a very good system.